Number one, we received a call in McAllen PD at about 5:50 this morning of a person basically assaulting and attacking the federal building that currently houses U.S. Border Patrol offices here at the McAllen Airport. That's a 24/7 operation. There are agents working from that particular site. They engaged the suspect that had opened fire upon that building and upon those agents that were in the building. Our officer responding to this particular scene, we have one officer by the name of Ismael Garcia, a 10-year veteran with us, as well responded to the call for service. And he was struck by a round. We don't know exactly whether that's a piece of a round, a full round, we don't know. He got hit in the knee. He is going to be fine. He's going through a recovery process and treatment at this point in time at a local hospital. Now, with regard to the incident involving the federal building, Border Patrol agents returned fire and subsequently neutralized, that is, killed the person that had opened fire upon that building. I cannot tell you how many rounds were fired from the suspect, specifically that is, but there were many dozens of rounds fired by the suspect towards the building and towards agents in that building. The subsequent scene investigation, which we are trying to wrap up at this point in time, also revealed much more ammunition and other weaponry that the suspect had brought with him at the particular point in time. The suspect is deceased on scene as a result of taking fire from Border Patrol agents. He has been tentatively identified as Ryan Lewis Mosqueda, with a 1997 date of birth. He is approximately 27 years old, more or less, at this point in time. The address that we know of him or for him is one in Michigan, and he arrived here with a Michigan tagged vehicle as well. Now, we also have connected him to a particular location in Weslaco, where at 4 o'clock this morning, he was reported missing from a Weslaco address. And an hour or so later, an hour plus a few minutes later, he was at that particular location opening fire on the federal building and our federal agents. We at McAllen PD and DPS and Border Patrol and FBI are all collectively involved in conducting this investigation. The FBI will take lead this particular incident involves both a federal assault on a federal police officer and an assault on a federal building as well. And thirdly, it's an officer involved shooting as well in that respect. So for that reason, FBI will take lead. The rest of us are in an assist mode to that investigation. We have no reason to believe at this point in time that there are any more particular threats in this area. We at McAllen took the precautionary steps of shutting down air traffic and asking that traffic to the airport, and I don't mean our air traffic, but rather vehicular traffic around this scene was shut down, which subsequently has an impact on air traffic, and therefore all that came to a stall. We're getting ready to release that here in a few minutes. That in essence encapsulates the incident that we have, that we are currently working. At this point in time, we are moving evidence, the vehicle, the body, all those things are moving out, and the balance of the investigation will continue, and the crime scene itself will be collapsed here in a few minutes as well. With that said, I don't know if, I don't believe anyone here else has any more general statements to make, but if they do, I'll yield the floor to them, and we'll take any questions that we can from you. Yes?
Where was the individual neutralized? In the parking lot, in the building?
He was right outside the building.
Did he ever make it inside the building?
No.
Were there any other officers or agents that were injured in this incident?
Not at this point.
Do we ever...
I'm sorry, let me qualify that. Clearly they were all impacted by virtue of the trauma involved with someone shooting at them. So there's an impact that way, but I do not know of another officer, federal officer that is, that took a bullet round or anything like that.
Got it.
Chief, en español, ¿nos puede decir
Sí.
qué fue lo que pasó? Este sujeto ingresó armado.
Lo voy a hacer en francés ahorita primero. Usted sí ahorita.
Really
Okay.
quickly,
Yes, ma'am.
Chief,
Thank you.
do we know a motive? Why did the suspect
We
come down here?
do not, ma'am.
What kind of vehicle was he driving? Was anything written on his vehicle? Or being told there may have been something.
There's some message we don't understand on the vehicle. May be some Latin words on it, but I don't know if they're necessarily related to the reason he's here, or have any relationship at all with regard to why this happened.
Do you have any PODs here? Is that for any explosives concerns, or is that just the small arms you found?
Well, in these types of incidents, you know, there's always secondary and other things, assaults that we need to be on guard for. We definitely had a foreign vehicle, that is a vehicle that did not belong in that parking lot, with immediate access to the crime scene itself. So we've taken the precautionary steps of neutralizing that vehicle. That is, we've cleared it. There were many backpacks in there. We have found much ammo and other weaponry in the vehicle, but we've found no explosives. The process by which we do that safely is through a bomb response investigation.
Do you have any information from the missing report that could lead to any possible motive or his mental state?
That is going to be part of the investigation that is currently ensuing and we'll follow up on.
Chief, does he have a criminal record with McAllen PD or any of the local agencies?
I do not know of a criminal record, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Chief, are you in contact with maybe law enforcement agencies at his home of record in Michigan?
Ma'am, sir, so just to be clear, the umbrella, the superior umbrella, or the agency with point lead investigation on this will be FBI, and we are assisting them with every aspect of this. Clearly, we are following up on a variety of different things, but I'm not the person who's going to tell you we're doing this or we're doing that with regard to that investigation.
Chief, due to the target on this, is considered a terroristic attack?
Again, that's subject to the investigation and whether or not any other linkages can be made or can be established as it relates to motive. There is not enough known, in my view, at this point in time to distinguish this as one type of assault or another. We just don't know enough.
Chief, any messages left in the car?
Like I said, the car has got some spray painting on it. There seems to be some language on it. We don't understand it. I don't understand it, that is. It may be Latin, but I do not know what it is.
So, but it's letters, it's not figures or anything
And
like that?
So there's some lettering. Again, I do not know what it means, and I do not know that they're necessarily connected to why he's here. So when you ask me, is there something spray painted on this car? Yes, there is. What it means or whether or not it is an underlying reason for being here, I do not know.
Now, I'm assuming FBI would be looking into
Yes,
that?
that's all part of the
You
investigation,
said
yes.
no explosives in the packages, right?
We have found no other explosives at all on scene.
Chief, with the evidence that y'all recovered inside the car, do y'all believe this is a premeditated attack, targeted attack?
You're asking me if this is a premeditated attack. When someone drives onto a parking lot and opens fire, there is some premeditation involved, as far as I'm concerned. Now, whether that premeditation is a matter of a few minutes, or days, or hours, or months, I don't know. But the short answer to your question would be, yes, he drove here. Yes, he opened fire. He was equipped to open fire. So therefore, the answer would be yes.
Was he alone in this attack?
We do not know at this point in time whether there are any other associates with him or other persons involved. That is part of the investigation that will ensue after today. Yes.
He was reported missing from the Westlaco address. Do we know about any ties he has here locally?
We do not know the linkage to the Westlaco address and what the relationship is there, but we know he was reported missing about 4 a.m. this morning, and then an hour and a few minutes later, he was on site here doing this. So there's clear suspicion about all of that. That's to be investigated further.
That address, a house, a hotel, what?
Again, without getting into the depth of detail, because that's part of the investigation, all we can tell you is we did receive an entry from Westlaco PD as a missing person.
Chief, en español, por favor, repita qué es lo que...
Sí, ahorita lo hacemos en español, sí? Sí, todo, okay. What else?
Chief, what would be your message tonight? This is obviously a super scary incident, and one of your officers was hit in the fire. What is your message tonight? Just as a human, how are you feeling that something like this happened here in McAllen?
I mean, I think I speak for everybody here. The world is much smaller than we think sometimes. And it takes events like these to really wake you up and say, you know what, we're really, really, really tiny in terms of the world. So the threats are always looming. They're always present. And incidents like these make us realize that we've got always to be on guard and to keep our community safe. We've always got to keep them informed as well.
Mayor, I'm sorry if you've spoken to this already, but any information on motivation?
We do not know, ma'am. Again, it's awful early for us to say that. The investigative part of these will be handled by FBI, and we'll defer to them for any other statements that they make once they make some findings or determinations on their own. But we're not anywhere near at that point to figure that out yet.
Any background on the shooter?
I do not know of any criminal background at this point in time.
Residents or?
Again, the last known residence known to us, based on ID with the particular suspect, is a Michigan address. Yes. All right. Anything else?
Just real quick, I know, you have lots of folks waiting out there outside of the airport, and they're glad to be out there as long as they're safe. People going as far away as Japan. Any message to the folks that have been pretty patient?
We are working very, very efficiently, and we're minutes away right now from clearing this up and opening this up. When I say we're getting ready to collapse this particular scene, that means opening up the street. We're not saying it's open, it's done with, but we're going to be in a position here to collapse the scene here in a few minutes and open up the stuff. We were waiting on clearing the vehicle and clearing every one of those packages that was in the vehicle to make sure that we did not have any kind of an explosive item spread around that parking lot. So that's what we're waiting for.
Chief, I'm sorry, just to get further clarification, the timeline here, the shooting, the incident happened around 6. When did the airport go into lockdown? And just giving a quick timeline one more time, if you don't mind.
So I'm going to suggest to you that time frame goes somewhere around like this. Right shortly about 8 or 10 minutes before 6 a.m. this morning is when we react to the call. Once we were on scene and we determined we have not only a shooter that's been neutralized, we have an active scene, but the real trigger for us to begin shutting things down was that strange vehicle in the parking lot, because we did not know whether or not there were any other secondary or even more suspects at large, or suspects or explosives, that is, in the parking lot. So out of precaution, we shut this whole zone down until we were able to determine that piece of it. And that is, and just to the point that I walked up here is when we finally got a green light. That is, we finally said, okay, all's clear as far as that particular vehicle. And we're going to be clearing here. If we're not doing it as I speak right now, we're clearing that here in a few minutes. All right, anything else? Okay, guys, let me ask, anybody here want to say anything? They all said yes. Yes, no, I'm just kidding. Anybody want to? So, one thing I want to say a couple of last things. We're really thankful to God and everybody else that our officer is fine. Number one, that no federal officers were shot or wounded in this particular incident. So we're thankful for that. But the last statement I'll make is what you see behind us is the collaborative effort that happens in McAllen, in the RGV. We come together to help everybody out. This is an effort right now, like I said, where FBI is taking lead on this. All of us are helping them get their work done in every aspect that we possibly can. So this is the team effort, the team response to this particular incident. It is a critical incident that's happened here, but by the grace of God, it was very quickly neutralized by agents that were on post at that particular facility. And that's the reason why we don't have more of an expanded crime scene or a number of victims in this particular case. Thanks to the work that they do and the work that we'll do together from this point on to pick this up. Okay? All right. Thank you. Anything else? Sí. Sí, claro. En español. Como a eso de las un poquito minutos antes de las 6 de la mañana hoy, nosotros respondimos aquí a las oficinas federales del Border Patrol aquí en McAllen, en el aeropuerto, en la localidad conocida como el aeropuerto. Determinamos que un sujeto abrió con un arma de fuego contra el edificio y contra los agentes federales en ese edificio. Un oficial de nosotros que respondió a este llamado fue impactado por el arma de fuego. No estamos seguros qué fue lo que le pegó realmente, pero sabemos que tomó un impacto en su rodilla y lo están tratando ahorita en McAllen Medical. Well, don't have to go there. Don't. I didn't mean to say McAllen Medical. Just don't say that. Okay, he's there, but he's gonna be fine. Nosotros como el departamento policíaco aquí en McAllen, el departamento de seguridad pública del estado de Texas, estamos presentes. El departamento de Border Patrol está presente, claro, porque fue sus oficinas y sus agentes que fueron asaltados hoy. Y esto le va a resultar en una investigación federal a cual FBI se va a tomar responsabilidad sobre eso. Nosotros como las agencias aquí estamos soportando el esfuerzo de esa investigación.
Mencionó que sospechoso es Ryan Mosqueda de 27 años. Ahora, ¿se cerró todo el área debido también a un vehículo sospechoso
Sí.
que estaba en el estacionamiento? ¿Puede precisar un poco más?
Al llegar aquí a este llamado determinamos que había un coche sospechoso en el estacionamiento donde está la oficina del Border Patrol aquí en McAllen. Tomamos pasos para asegurar de que la área quedaba segura, que no había explosivos en el coche, y eso hemos trabajado en estas últimas horas para aclarar eso. Hemos determinado ahorita por el momento que no hay explosivos, había más armas y más elementos para asaltar aquí los agentes en el coche, pero no había explosivos. Entonces estamos aclarando eso ahorita y vamos ahorita a abrir este lugar.
Sospechoso residente de Michigan.
¿Mande?
Residente de Michigan.
La información que nosotros sabemos sobre el sospechoso ahorita está identificado como ya dio su nombre, más o menos como 27 años de edad, y conocemos de que él tiene una licencia de manejar en Michigan. Para nosotros, eso indica que la última residencia conocida para nosotros es Michigan.
Jefe, ¿qué tipo de arma se usó y qué tipo de armas están dentro del vehículo?
Rifles de asalto.
Chief, también mencionaba que había un cierto mensaje en el vehículo.
Hay algo pintado en el vehículo, no sabemos si es mensaje, no sabemos si eso que está pintado sobre el coche es relacionado a un motivo o relacionado en ninguna manera total, no sabemos. Entonces sabemos que están unas letras escritas, probablemente en latín, y no hemos determinado el rollo de esas pinturas con relación a este incidente.
¿Qué tipo de vehículo, jefe?
Es un coche, no sé, un Chevy, me parece que es Chevy, no estoy seguro, sí.
Pero
Es un coche pasajero.
Ah,
No,
bueno,
no es, sí.
Chief, I'm hearing
No.
from sources that he was dressed in full tactical gear. Can you confirm that?
I wouldn't characterize him as dressed in tactical gear.
Can you tell us a little bit about what his presentation looked like?
I mean, he's carrying a vest, a utility vest. If someone is saying to you that that's a tactical vest, that's a different thing.
Jefe, ¿nos
Pues-
puede describir la acción coordinada con distintas agencias del orden, como nos comentó?
Sí, estamos trabajando juntos. Aquí están localizados ahorita el Departamento de Seguridad Pública del Estado de Texas. Se encuentra aquí FBI con nosotros, el Departamento Policial de McAllen, la Agencia Federal Border Patrol. Todos estamos colaborando para completar esta investigación. Finalmente, esto involucra un asalto a un agente federal, involucra un asalto a un edificio federal, involucra un agente federal que ha sido asesinado, un sospechoso. Entonces, eso todo es de interés federal, y la agencia federal que toma esas investigaciones es el departamento de FBI. Entonces nosotros, como agencias aquí asistiendo a todo este incidente, estamos asistiendo a la agencia de FBI para cumplir esta investigación.
¿Cuál es su mensaje para los turistas, los residentes, sobre la coordinación y su seguridad?
Claro, lo más importante ahorita es que hemos detenido viajes del aeropuerto, y lo sentimos mucho, pero era un paso necesario para asegurar de que no había explosivos aquí en esta área y para tratar de limitar más daño contra las personas aquí.
¿Y que no pasa a mayores?
Y no ha pasado nada más de lo que hemos ya comentado por el momento. El coche ya está ahorita aclarado y vamos a abrir ahorita en unos cuantos minutos.
And Chief, just to
triple clarify. When you say an assault rifle, is that an AR-15? What did he open fire with exactly? I know it's an assault rifle, but what kind?
Well, it's an assault rifle.
So
I'm not going to tell you it's an AR-15 or not. 'Cause I have not put eyes on it but it is an assault rifle. If you ask me, does it look like an AR-15? I would say yes, but I'm not going to call it an AR-15. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
The color of the car?
It's a white vehicle.
¿En qué parte del estacionamiento buscaron al sujeto?
Ahí enfrente en la mera puerta del edificio.
En la mera puerta.
Sí. Ahí se encontró. Y
El
ahí,
hombre no alcanzó a ingresar al edificio.
correcto.
Solo para cerrar, ¿el coche fue confirmado ser del sospechoso o todavía no sabemos si es?
¿El coche qué?
¿Es confirmado que el sospechoso era el dueño del coche o todavía
No,
sabemos?
no le voy a decir que es el dueño, pero estamos seguros que él llegó aquí en ese coche.
¿Las placas eran de Michigan o...?
De Michigan. ¿Ok?
Who returned fire to?
I'm sorry?
Who returned fire?
Who returned fire?
Yeah, who's
Federal agents.
Federal agent. And it was a local officer who was injured, but he will be recovered?
The officer for us is a local McAllen PD officer. He's a 10-year officer with us. His name is Ismael Garcia. He took a hit in his knee. We don't know if it's a direct bullet hit or shrapnel or some other piece of a.
Was it friendly fire?
We can't.
Don't know
No,
yet.
no.
Do you know how many rounds the suspect got off?
I'm going to say to you dozens, but I don't have an exact number. And just so that you put that at ease a bit, there are many more rounds of ammunition in his backpacks that he had. He was loaded for bear. Okay?
And just to clarify, you did say you found other weapons in the vehicle?
Yes.
What types of weapons?
Another rifle and other assaultive weapons and more ammunition. Okay, we're good? Because the traffic's on the right here, guys are going to get run over. I'm just kidding. All right, we're good. We're going to open it up. I mean, we're concerned with dealing with traffic here, and the result of that then can be the airport's decision at what time they resume flights, okay? All right, thank you all so much.
Thank you.